So for the past 2 years, ever since I started 3D printing, I've been using this Ender 3 to print out all my prints and stuff. But as anyone who's owned an Ender 3 knows, they are rather inconsistent, and I swear I spend more time trying to fix this thing and trying to get it to work than actually printing anything, if I'm being totally honest. I've had enough. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to try and look for a new printer. And sure enough, when I was looking up new printers, the most common result for a printer which always just works and you should have like not much problem with is this, the Bambu Lab A1. This printer is apparently it's game changing. Apparently it's completely changed the 3D printing industry. This brand has, apparently it's one of the best printers you can get right now. And the most common phrase I see used for this printer is, it just works. Which I'm hoping is true, because I prefer the actual print itself. I prefer decorating the printer stuff than the actual 3D printer itself. I hate trying to get it to work. I just want to see the print, you know. So I'm hoping that this will be right for me. So without further ado, let's grab these and let's unbox this thing. Let's see what's inside, and let's get a print running and see how it goes. Right, so here's a box. It is absolutely massive. This is what it looks like if you were to get it. And now we grab these and we open it. Let's see what we get. There we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, more cardboard. That might be. I see a manual. I've knocked over my light. Here we have the top of the box. We have some packaging. Let's just hang on. Ooh. Oh, can you, and if you can see that, there is the top of the printer there. I can see it through the hole on top of this. Let's keep on going. Let's keep taking this off. A whole lot of plastic. So we've got the top here, what looks to be, I think it's a build plate, although why they stuck it to the top is kind of beyond me. Ooh, you see that? Ooh. There it is. Now we got a quick start manual. We open it up, we've got, looks to be some stickers, QR code and stuff, some safety stuff, yada yada yada, and how to set up the printer, which I will be following in just a second. And then in here we have, I do believe, is a build plate. In case you know what that means already, that's a bit that goes on the bottom, where the prints are printed onto. So you've got a logo there too. Nice and silver. And it's the same both sides as well. Set that over here, and let's just carry on to see what's lurking underneath the cardboard. Alright then, the big reveal in 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness, it's mostly assembled already. There's some bits stuck to the top of the cardboard. A bit stuck to the cardboard there as well. I'll not stick to it, it's meant to be like that. I'll put it over there for a second. And hang on, here's the front perspective. So it's so cold, it's pure metal. So this is what you see when you open up the cardboard top. Power cord, purge, filament switch, creative model, accessory box, and then a lot more foam. No wonder the box is so bloody massive, because it comes pre-assembled. That's crazy. Right, let's get this thing out the foam. Oh, okay, that's one piece out. So the first piece comes out like this. You've even got one of the extruders, the X-axis extruder, I think this is. There you go. So that's the frame. We've got the next piece, which is pieces of cardboard. Kind of tough to get out. I will be lying if I said it wasn't. Don't want to damage it. And we finally got it out. Okay, I'm dropping stuff everywhere. Hopefully that wasn't important. Okay, here is what seems to be the bottom mechanism. What we got? What is happening? Can you stop squeaking? Bottom base, we've got a screen here. Is that a speaker? Huh. Mic on the side here. A little closer look in just a second, and this front as well. And then on top of this foam, we have a great British power cord. Got whatever the hell this thing is. I don't know if this fabric is meant to be on there or if it's tape or what. It looks like it's just tape, never mind. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Oh, keep clear moving parts. Yeah, I don't know what that is. We'll figure it out. Oh. Purge, you can't see that. Purge wiper filaments swatch. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that means. And then this, we got creative model kit accessory box. And this thing, I presume. And here we've got I don't know what I'm looking at. A bunch of like tomato sauce packets, some lube, a pen, or it's not a pen, Allen keys. Obviously we'll find out what they're for eventually. And a lot of my accessories. I couldn't even begin to tell you what the hell on earth I'm looking at. That's everything that was in this little creative model accessory box. Then we have this. This is the filament swatches, whatever that means. See, I come from using an Ender 3, so, and I know a lot about that printer now, but barely. But I don't, you know, this is all fancy. Like, what the hell, the filament swatch? Or is that not? It's got like different colours. What's that like? That's cool. Are these all the colours they have? It's just flexing what colours they have, so you can see if you want to buy one. I don't know. It's like an ad. It's got like a, yeah, I don't know what this is for, but it looks cool. I apologise if my mic was upside down the whole time. I didn't realise. It should be fine now anyway. We also got this shitting biscuits. We've got this. It's like a mini piano. Oh, it is. I was joking. What? Mini music box hand winding kit KO15. Model designed by this person. What? Why have I got a mini piano? It's like a test print, so you can print your own mini piano. There's like the mechanism for the inside of it. Is it? And a bunch of screws in there and stuff. I don't know what this means, but it sounds pretty cool. Wasn't intending to print out a mini piano anytime soon, but I might have to now. We've got a PTFO tube, I think it's what it's called anyway, where the filament runs through. Got some tester filament, which is Bambu's own PLA. Now I do believe that is everything inside of the box, so we'll just put everything out in front. So this is every single thing you get in a box. We've got the base, we've got the frame, we've got the heated board, filament, PTFO tube, and all the accessories and all that. I still don't know what these two are for, but we'll see that later. As well as this bit here, the top of it, And I'm going to take a quick guess and guess that's where the filament goes on. But either way, so what I'm now going to do is I'm now going to get out the instructions and we'll put it together. So we've got all the parts here, and all we need to do now is just to put it together. Now, according to the manual, we've also got some names of some of the items I can figure out. Feel free to pause on that. But some things are like that thing stuck to the top of the cardboard. It's actually the spool holder, so I was right. The little grey thingy bobbies called a purge wiper apparently. And we've got some accessory box and that kind of thing, and also a second page explaining all the little things that are in the accessory box. I didn't know what they were. You know, scraper blades, cable organisers, nozzle wipers, all that and above. Now the first thing you need to do to put together, it says remove the 4Z-axis limiter mounting screws and attach the 2 Z-axis limiters. That honestly could have been in German. I wouldn't have understood it anymore. To be honest, wait, no, I wouldn't have understood it any less is what I meant to say. So I don't know what that means, but I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to go do that real quick. Well, that's one. And that's two. Right, so let's take the screws out and pop these bad boys off. Unfortunately, it seems to have left some like scratch marks on it where the plastic was, and I had to scrape it off because it was literally stuck to it. And that's like I can't wipe it off. Never mind, false alarm. I can literally just wipe it off from my phone. Never mind. Next up, remove all packaging foams, cardboard wraps, and zip ties. Well, I've already done that for this piece anyway, but I'll quickly do it for the other one. Right, so it appears to be all the foam off this. It's also got an SD card at the front as well. 32 gigabyte storage. That's not really necessary for 3D prints because they're usually quite small files anyway. And then we also got this big bit of cardboard there, which I'll just quickly remove this from. And here's the thingy bob. Hopefully I didn't break it trying to take out that bloody foam. Next on the to-do list is, right, so there's got a diagram of the base housing and the build plate. Install the build plate with correct orientation, align the edge with the heat bed. All right. And then, Jesus, that's magnetic. Goodness. Oh, goodness me. I got that on there. They've got the base housing and printer frame. Put the printer frame on the table shown above. Right, so now we've got putting the frame on the base, so I'm going to go do that. And then we've got to remove the Y-axis cover, push the heat bed fully to the front end, and we'll go do that. And now we can see the inside of the printer, and it says install 10 yada screws for base housing, and the holes highlighted in green. like so. So I presume it's going to be these, because it says for base housing on it. Now we've done the back, now he's going to move on for some screws in on the front as well. Now we've done that, we just need to put the cover back on. Right, now we've got to apparently turn it on its side. Turn it 190 degrees on its rear, laying on the edge of the table. Okay. If I drop this now, I'm going to cry. Whose idea was this? Next step, plug in the cable box while it's upside down on its side. Jesus. I ain't gonna lie to you, mate, that might have been the hardest screw I've ever had to screw in. I've actually got like a small dent in my, I've got like a cut on my thumb now to try to screw that thing in. It would not go in, I'll tell you that. But next thing we've got plug in the connectors, which is pretty self-explanatory really. So we've got a white one here, which is for the camera. We got the Z motor, which is green, and then this one, which is yellow, which is the Z motor. Right, now we've done that, and you see all the cables are plugged in here. There, tucked into the camera, ZX. Flip this bad boy over, and we should be nearly done. Next up, fold out the touchscreen. Finally something a bit more interesting. So grab that, and then just simply do that, I guess. So you can have it like that, or you can put it out like this. Next up, we got install the purge wiper. Slide the purge wiper unit into the slot of the X-axis. Again, that would be this thing, and that's going to this, I think. Right, now we've done all that, I think it's done, because the next step is powering on. Plug in the power cable and turn it on. That's literally what it says. So let's finally turn this thing on and see how it looks. Power cable in place, printer in place, switch on. It's got a blue light at the back. There's also a little light that's lit up at the front. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Hello. Did you hear that? I'm hoping it still made it. I'm hoping it still picked it up. It needs your creativity while it's on. Right. English. No. English. No, English. Jesus. Select the same region as your account. Europe. Connect the Wi-Fi. You know what? Sure. We'll do that. I'll go do that real quick. Oh, hang on. Jesus. I'm going to go put the Wi-Fi in real quick. Right, so put in the Wi-Fi, and I've also signed up for the app, and I've connected the printer over Wi-Fi. And I've also named the printer as well, so you might see that name pop up in a minute. It's not, but no, this thing just came up, so it seems like a calibration test here, so might as well start it. Home all access. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh. Jesus, it shook my whole desk. Alright, then it appears to be done with calibration, not to flip in forever. It said to take 15 minutes, it took like half an hour, I ain't gonna lie. Okay. This touchscreen's really nice as well. It's really touchscreen lubricate Y-axis guide rails, and I don't wanna do it later, mate. Can't be bothered. What's that about? Also, I just realised I don't actually have any filament on there yet, so hang on, I'll put that on. So here we are with a finished printer. I've put everything together now, including the filament spool. What I have to do was clip it on here. I've tucked a roll of filament on, and then you run the filament through this thing into the PTF tube which you attach. Put a clip on there so this thing doesn't keep touching the base, and you put that on here. And now what I'm doing is I'm doing a load filament thing, where you have to, if you put a new filament in, you have to load it, I guess. So I pressed on the filament thing. On the front page, I pressed load filament, and then now it's doing it. I think it has. All right, so now it's done loading the filament. It kind of just started leaking some out at the end, and then started smacking its head. The nozzle started smacking itself against this side thing here, and now it's got this waste filament, I guess. So now it's all put together. I say we try and do a print, and there's a few base files already put on here. Obviously classic benchies and stuff, but I this ocarina looks kind of interesting, and it's pretty short as well. So I might try that, and yeah, let's see how well it prints. And already here we've got some temperature stuff on the side, preparing. That's so goofy. It's the goofiest thing I've ever had in my whole life. But yeah, it says OK on assistant. It seems to be, nozzle seems to be heating up so quickly. It was like 20 degrees a minute ago. I mean, like a second ago even. Heats up a lot quicker than end of free, that's for sure. Fans are on 0 at the moment, temperature's at 100%, and tool head homing is what it says. So now from here I'm just gonna let it run, do a time lapse on my phone. We'll see how nice it looks afterwards. Right, so the ocarina is done. I've got to record me taking it up to build plate, but here it is. My first print. It was for the speed it was going. It printed out pretty damn well. Obviously, there's going to be some lines in there. This line here is on purpose. I think it's part of the design. I'm not sure about all of them though. You see what a build plate was. It's pretty cute. I didn't realize they did a pig to us now. Question is, does it work? Yeah, that's pretty cool if you ask me. I was not expecting it to work at all. But now I've got the pig printed out. I might actually print out one of these, a benchy. I've never actually printed out one of these before, even though I've had my Ender 3 for 2 years. I've never done a benchy. I'm ashamed of myself, but I've never actually printed out a benchy before. So 20 minutes, bloody hell. Guess I'll try out one of these. And there we have it, the benchy test, which I've never done before. Here is the, hang on, here's the result. I mean, it looks pretty good. There's like a line going across the boat, but I'm presuming that's on purpose. Like part of the design, that line there. That's got a thing at the bottom as well. Pretty nice. It did, for the speed it was going, I'm honestly shocked it even managed to print anything, even any sort of precision whatsoever. This thing is absolutely crazy. So these are my first two prints on this printer. Got Piggy, and we've got the Benchy. This is astonishing, this is. Because it's hard to describe. The whole thing, I couldn't even use my computer in the end, because it was shaking my whole desk. It was turning my monitor on and off so much, to the point where my computer actually crashed. The vibrations on this thing are insane, and for the speed it was going, it didn't even look like it was even printing anything. Like it was doing some infill on this, right? It's going left to right diagonal. You can see it in the time lapse. It was even going direct diagonal. It's going so fast. It's like the whole house was shaking and it was moving, and somehow it's even got a wheel in it. It goes so fast and it prints so fine. This took 20 minutes.
Right, so up until this point in the video, we have unboxed the printer, we have assembled it, and we've also done a few test prints on it. And what I thought I'd do at the end here is I'd actually do a quick review of the printer, give you some of my thoughts on it, because as of me recording this right now, it's actually been a few weeks since I recorded the first part where I unboxed it. So, and I've done that because those few weeks in between have allowed me to have plenty of use of the printer, hours and days worth of printing stuff, and be able to have a proper experience with it and get to learn the ins and outs of how the printer works and all that. And there's quite a lot of things I want to touch on here. And the first thing I want to touch on is like the build quality of the printer. It's super nice, sturdy materials. Everything feels proper well built. Nothing feels cheap about it. Unfortunately, I have to move around the printer quite a lot, and everything always feels super sturdy and well put together. Nothing's ever going to fall off. So that's something I wanted to mention. Just the overall quality of the materials used with the printer are super nice. Nothing feels cheap, so it should last a long while. Probably the most important thing to me about this printer is the sort of the more techie side of things compared to like something like the Ender 3. I love like the techie side of things that it has, like the touchscreen, and on that touchscreen you have the ability to just load and unload filament and that kind of thing. That basically just means, you can, if you want to press unload to take old filament out, and you press load to put new filament in whenever you want to change filaments. The ability just to print files from it, to do calibration whenever you want. So you've got this little assistant thing that will tell you when something needs changing or something like that. And also the fact it's got a camera on it. It's also got a light on it as well. And also the fact there's like a little ecosystem around a printer as well. Like it's got a PC app called Bambu Studio, and it's got a mobile app called Bambu Handy. On both of which you can print stuff off. So you can actually print stuff from your phone. If you download the Bambu Handy app, you can download these little projects and models that other people have made, and you can just print it straight from your phone. Or if you're printing something already, you can just go on the phone app and you can monitor your print by pressing the little play button, and you can actually watch through the camera on the printer what the printer's currently doing from anywhere you are, which is super useful. And also the little light means they can also see what's going on if the room's light is off in the room it's in or something like that, which is why the light is super useful as well. And that is actually what I use the camera for mainly, just having a quick peek at my print every now and then. So it is in a different room from me, and that means I can just see what it's doing at any time. You can actually do the same thing on the PC version here. If you press device, my printer is currently on and printing something. So here we can see the printing progress that the printer's currently got, what temperature everything's currently at, and if I press this, it's what access the camera on the printer, and I can see what it's doing right now. Yes, it is in the bathroom. Don't ask why it's in the bathroom. That is a sink there. But yeah, so I think the app's super useful. Be able to just watch my print every now and then to see if it's still printing without actually having to go in the room every time. I think it's super nice. So yeah, the camera is super useful, and I think this app is super useful just to be able to keep a monitor on your printer. Something else I love is the Wi-Fi capabilities of it, so you can send things over the Wi-Fi. You don't need to have SD cards or cables or anything. So you can import your model here. You can get it set up, press slice, have you see a model of what's going to look like once it's printed. You can then press print, and then you can send it to your printer over the Wi-Fi. And it will just download it from the cloud onto the printer, and it will just start the print for you. And every single time you want to, you can also start a bed leveling and flow dynamics every single print. I always leave these on because it's nice just to ensure you have the best possible printing possible. So I might as well just leave these two on. I don't know what this does, but I leave it on every time. Bed leveling is an extremely important feature of this printer for me. It's got auto bed leveling, which the Ender 3 never had, which I hate bed leveling, that thing. This thing will always just calibrate itself. It will always make sure that the bed is entirely level, so you don't have to do a single thing. So I think it's super nice. It's so important, the auto bed leveling feature. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's some of the tech things that I really enjoyed. The camera, the light, the auto bed leveling. I think the sound effects it makes are really cute whenever it turns on, whether it starts a print, whether it finishes a print. It'll always do this little jingle for you.
Preparing.
But I think it's very nice because it sort of just adds like a little bit of charm to the printer, a little bit of character to it. And also the fact that you can also name your printer on the app and everything, it adds just a bit more. It just makes it feel more personal, really. And there's one more thing I want to touch on in sort of the tech category of this review, which is the auto awareness of the printer, is what I'm going to call this. In other words, its ability to tell you when something's going to go wrong, and if something's going to go wrong or has gone wrong, it'll always tell you. If your nozzle gets clogged or something jams or something gets stuck or whatever, it will tell you and it'll stop the print, or it'll pause it. If you run out of filament, or at least just before you run out of filament, it will lift itself up, move to the side, and say, "This near buster, we can't carry on your print. You got no more filament," which I think is super nice. Instead of just printing on mid-air with no filament coming out. If the bed ain't level, it'll tell you it. If your y-axis or your x-axis need lubricating, it'll tell you that. So you can use that grease and that lube you got on the box that came in the printer, and you can grease up your axis, I guess, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, something if maintenance need done, if maintenance needs doing, it will tell you. You know, one time the metallic sheet that goes on top using magnets, where it actually prints on top of. One time that magnetic sheet was slightly off, very slightly off, but like a millimeter, and the printer was like, "No, this near buster, we can't print out your thing properly because your bed's slightly off." It carried on printing anyway, which was fine in the end, but it's just letting you know that your print bed's slightly off, so maybe you should actually put it on there properly next time, you idiot. Because there's actually guides, there's little guides along the top of the print bed, so you can use sort of, so you know how to perfectly put the printer bed in the correct orientation, I guess. Also, probably the second most, or even not equally as important to me as all the tech stuff, is the speed of it. I'm used to the Ender 3. The prints are like 50 millimeters per second. This thing, I currently print stuff at 300, and somehow those 300 millimeter per second prints, which is 6 times the speed of that, print better quality than that does. It's just the speed of it is insane. But the speed in itself isn't that important. It's about the fact that it can go fast and print well. Like the prints never look nasty. They never look rushed. They never look off because it's having to print so fast. Everything still looks exactly the same as it would have if I printed on a slower thing. So there's no downside depending on our high speed. At least not that I've noticed. Which leads me on to the next bit: the quality. The quality is insane. And this is the point where I tell you about something. This is the point where I'll show. This is the point where I'll show you. There's a point where I want to show you some of the prints I've done. These are all part of the same project. It's not finished, but for example, this rather large piece here. This is the print quality. These ridged lines here were the model, so that's not the printer. As you can see, there's not really any. There's no lines. Although obviously there is lines, but there's no like extremely visible print lines. It's managed to do these circles really well, even though there was a bit of support underneath it as well. Obviously, you will still get those little bit of artifacts there, staircase effect from when you're trying to print stuff like that. That's fine. And overall, it's just a super nice quality thing. Same with this, another large piece. It just went straight up and somehow perfectly smooth. One thing I will say though about the print quality is this. See these? This is one of the issues I do have the printer, which is the fact that sometimes it's a good feature, but it's also a bit of an annoying one. Basically, when the printer detects that something is moved slightly that it shouldn't have, so the bed might have moved slightly weirdly, or the axis that the hot end goes on might have moved slightly off, what it'll do is it'll recalibrate itself, so therefore it's not just printing weirdly. So when it detects something's off, it will go up, it will go to the corner of the bed, it will go down, touch the build plate, go back up again, go back to where it was printing, and then carry on, just to sort of sort of center itself, I guess, and get itself in the right, getting everything in the right position again. But the problem with that is that it does that quite a bit sometimes, and whenever it does that, it sort of leaves like a little trail of filament behind it, and then it tries printing on top of that filament, and then it just leaves these bits where there's like filament hanging out these sides, which is a little bit annoying. But I like sanding my prints anyway, so that's not an issue for me. But if someone doesn't like sanding their prints, then maybe that's an issue. These are some of the more smaller prints I've done. Any sort of weird crevice you see on here is just my weird modelling. My weird model. It's not actually anything to do with the print itself. Also, this big piece here that I've managed to glued together already. Two different filaments here. We've got a matte one, and we've got a shiny one, and this one printed at 100 millimeters per second. This one printed at 300. The quality is no different. Like I said, it's impeccable quality, really. And, and the speed of it as well. Like I already said, I mean, these pieces, one of these bits here, one of these giant pieces, took about 9 hours each, which would have taken about probably like 3 days on end of free. That's not even a lie either. I think it probably would. Well, no, it wouldn't even fit on the build plate, which is also another good thing. The build plate size is only 2 centimeters wider in all directions from the end of free, which only does 23 centimeters. But the one on the Bambu, the build plate area, the printing area is 25.6 centimeters, which is only 2.6 centimeters wider. But that is something that has been very noticeable. And without those extra 2.6 centimeters, I would not been able to print out some of the things I've been able to print out, such as these parts here, because they just about fit on the print plate. One thing I will say though is that it does vibrate quite a bit. The printer does. When I was using it on my desk, which is why it's not printing on my desk right now, it's in my bathroom, like I said, is that because it vibrates so much to the point where my PC stopped working. That's not even a joke. My PC actually did stop working. It started like glitching out, and everything started, all my apps started crashing and everything, because this thing was vibrating my desk so much. It was just like, yeah. So it does vibrate quite a bit if you put it on higher speeds, so that is something to be careful about. It is also quite loud. It is a very loud printer. I don't care what anyone says online, it is a loud printer. The motors are not that loud. In fact, the motors I can't even hear, because I can't hear anything over the bloody fan. The fan on the printer is so loud. When the fan is not going off, it's quite a quiet printer. When the fan is going off, it's very loud. I'm not really sure there is much more to say, really. The build plate it comes with is super nice. I mean, you have to clean it after every single print. That is something people have been saying to do online. Is like you should always take the bed plate off after every single print, and either wipe it down or thoroughly clean it. I've not thoroughly cleaned mine once with like washing up liquid or anything like people say to. I only ever just wipe mine down with a cloth, and the adhesion has never failed me. The bed plate adhesion is amazing. It sticks. The prints will stick to the build plate when you need them to, but they'll also come off when you want them to. And you don't need to clean it as much as people say you do. You really don't. I just do a quick wipe down on my print, on my build plate, and it's perfectly fine. I guess that's really it. I mean, there's not much more to say, really. It's just a really nice printer. Got tons of cool text stuff about it. Tons of all useful features that you can, Wi-Fi based stuff. The actual prints themselves are fast. They're smooth. They look great. And I've never really had. Well, I've had a few bad prints, but they were all my fault when I didn't set up. I didn't put enough support on the model or something. So it was just printing out over thin air, and didn't put enough support on it. So yeah, no, that was my fault. I never had any issues with the printer itself. And I printed out so much stuff at this point, it's insane. I mean, I print daily, many hours a day, not a single failed print. That was the printer's fault anyway. And like I said earlier, about people saying it's just a printer that just works, I can approve of that. It does just work. As I'm printing out a big project at the moment, I literally get up at the start of the day, start a new print, and it just goes off, and it's done at like midnight. And it's just like, okay, cheers. Nothing else to worry about. It just does it for you. And I can sit there peacefully, knowing there's nothing's going to go wrong anytime soon. And hey, I can always check on my phone to see if anything has gone wrong at any time. If something has gone wrong, it'll probably tell me anyway. It's just a smashing piece of technology, really. So yeah, I definitely recommend this printer, whether you're just starting out, or you're looking for a new printer, or you're sick of your render friend and you want something better. I don't blame you. This is definitely a good choice. So yeah, I might make a follow-up video at some point talking about my project that I'm working on, but I'll be a bit in the future because it's going to take me a while to put together. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this was helpful in trying to see if you wanted to get the printer or not. Hopefully this was helpful if you needed to learn if you had trouble trying to assemble your printer and you just wanted to see how I did it, in case you were stuck on any of the instructions or anything else you might have been watching this video for. Really, I hope I helped in some way or another. If you've got any questions, let me know. If anything else you want to know, let me know. And yeah, that's about it really. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for 80 subscribers. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.